I just sent y'all the color.
Let me
That's
see
my
this
color.
thing, man.
I'm tapped
see.
out.
Is that accurate? Is that not accurate? Is that?
This is definitely Puerto Rican. This is
Well, now so how the color Puerto Rican? Ain't no color.
This is definitely Puerto Rican. Cleveland, that's not Puerto Rican.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Latinx right there, brother.
Yo,
That's Latinx.
Here's my other one. This is what happened. Shit, you said Latin.
He called you Emoji Latinx.
One level, man. You go.
You're now tuned in.
You're now tuned in.
You are now tuned in.
You're now tuned in.
You are now tuned in
to the Juxtaposition Podcast.
What's going on? Welcome to episode 57, the Juxtaposition Podcast, aka the Extraordinary Nobodies, aka the Starting Five, aka the Five Heartbeats, aka Four Hubbins and Impossible, which is now a guarantee. I am your host, Varsinio Hall. What's going on, fellas? We have great energy today. Great energy today. Zoe, what's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. Just busy with work, brother. Busy trying to get this money.
So
I could be like y'all.
No, you ain't not like me.
You aiming low? You aiming lower?
Yeah, who, me?
Yo, I think he took a shot at you.
You got the bread. I was talking about myself.
I know your RSUs, brother. I know your RSUs. Don't you talk to me like that. I would hit the money on you in a minute. James ain't here, but you can still get it. So I seen you hit the was it the pumpkin patch or apple?
Yeah, but we went pumpkin patch, but we ain't come home with no pumpkins. That was kind of strange. We actually didn't even go to that side of the spot. We wound up going to the apple spot portion of the farm. It was Shady Brook Farm, and then we went to
where's that at?
Sunflower. It's in Yardley, PA.
Oh, PA. Yeah. Okay.
Right, right by where we used to go play ball, kind of like going towards Council Rock.
Council Rock. Oh my
God. Remember that?
That's crazy. First you in these green and white shorts. Now you talk about Council Rock. All this
throwback.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No,
Kevin.
Yo.
How art thou, good brother? What's your weekend looking like?
This weekend, I think it's gonna be low. I'm probably gonna spend time with my wife. I haven't seen her in forever.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Let me get it.
Yeah,
that's lovely.
Nah, I haven't tried for her in a little bit. But there's not much I do on the weekends that I don't do during the weekday now these days. So the weekend is just another day. Some days I don't even. I had a conversation with my wife about that. And she had to break her out of that mindset too. I just like start looking at the weekends like this thing,
like the special days.
Yeah, why can't we make any day special? Like, why can't we make a normal Tuesday or Wednesday special? Like, why can't a Saturday be just a day I just clean, get my mind right, get my life in order? Why does it have to be a turn up? I had to get her to think that way because, we start limiting our capabilities or doing extra things on the weekends that we would much rather do fun things, and sometimes if you have to push extra, if you have to get extra reps in, that's just more important right now. And the weekends need to get sacrificed, and we need to be able to adjust what fun looks like during the week,
I feel that. Yo, do you still train people?
Actually, you know what, bro? I've been silent on that. And that's a great question right now. Because you're not the last. You asked that 2 people asked that question in the last 3 days, but no, not right now. But what's interesting is just why. I don't know how the real answer to that. I love it. I love the idea of it.
But it's time consuming, huh? Like you have to be there. You can't really you can't scale you.
Time, yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm just making that a thing, right? And I think that's where my focus is. That's where my energy is going to. I'm just scaling, everything type thing. But I love the interaction. I love that. I love what that brings. I love helping people be who they really are. Because we all are more than what we want to be. Just that sometimes you need to get it pulled up out of you. And I love that moment. I love that experience. I think that's always a cherishable moment. I built a lot of relationships, and I made a lot of money just doing what I really enjoyed, which was kind of cool.
That's fire because what I realized is that when you are doing the thing that you truly love, you're on the ground floor, right? Like you're probably doing everything. You're wearing every hat. But as you elevate in the space, you get more information, you learn how to scale, you try to optimize, you delegate tasks, you kind of get further and further from the thing that you actually enjoy, which probably is like talking to people, building, connecting.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So
he's
yeah,
right.
it's
But I think
like
right
that.
now, it's just, I think one day it'll happen. I just think in this current moment, we're just in scaling mode, right? We're just in development mode. And it's just like, cool. That interaction is great. But I miss it though. I would love, I don't know. I love to work out. I still work out every single day. And I love to be able to have somebody that would just keep me company and push me on days when I really don't feel like doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I managed to do it on my own, but that interaction is just that much impactful.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo. I was probably at my strongest when me and Kev was like, remember we used to go work out with what's the name of them? With Paul and Casey and them. Remember we used to go to Gold's Gym and shit?
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, there was like a year period. Me, Kev.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm the smallest out of everybody there.
Michael Nash shit, not to drop you name drop, but Mike, good guy, and he went to Ryder, and Dylan, Justin.
Dylan brother looked like what's name Taylor from the
Justin
Dolphins.
Taylor.
Yeah. He big as hell. I'm the smallest guy at 6 foot. A 160 wet at the time. Like,
I do remember Dylan's brother. He was huge. Yeah,
he was. Yeah. But he played international ball too. Like, he played professional international. So I mean, he
had that little one drop step dunk.
This one right here, the little side turn, I'm like, dang, that's when you know you're too big for school. Like, get out of here.
Cleveland, that's what it is.
Before Cleveland start, Cleveland, I just want to let you know I went to church again.
You stole my shine. You stole my shine because I literally was about to say it felt good to see my brothers in church. It was a beautiful thing, man. I saw you went to
this is what I came up with the word. Thou shalt not try me.
You went to Change Church with Dr. Darius Daniels, man. I was watching that live randomly. I was watching it live. That's crazy. That same service that you was at, I was watching it live. So that was dope.
You better put your manifestation on wax. You never know if you're listening. Put your manifestation on wax.
Man, before we put that on wax,
the message was
You were in the building. You were in the building actually.
Yeah, they had it.
I was
at the building. He was in the building. I was watching online, but the word was "Won't he do it?" That was the message. That was like the title of the message, and he was talking about some deep stuff. Basically, he was talking about the God you get is the God you perceive. Like if you perceive him to be small, then you have small things. You perceive him to be big, then you get grand things. So it was dope, man. So the word was dope. I think he's one of the best at teaching, just flat out teaching and keeping it real. I would love to be a part of Daniel's Den, the
talk about
mentorship program. I had fun this weekend, man. I hung out with my wife. It was a beautiful weekend here, man. It was like 74 degrees, sunny with a nice breeze. It was like perfect fall day. Me and my wife went out to Newport, Rhode Island, and walked by the beach and went to tour one of the Vanderbilt homes. And the Vanderbilts are railroad family from
railroad shipping
1800s or late 1800s, like 1890s. And these were like multi millionaires back in that time. And their houses are opulent, bro. Like gold painted ceilings.
Can we get a buzz for that word?
Yeah, opulent is the best way to put it, bro. So it was cool to see that level of wealth, like that old and that level of wealth at that time. I thought it was really cool to see. Like I felt like it was a glimpse into my future. Like so, I'm talk about it. But man, it was awesome. So we had a great weekend. Hung out with my wife and had a good time. Also, shout out to my cousin Mike who married his partner Anthony over the weekend. I didn't get a chance. I didn't go.
Mike and Anthony.
I couldn't go because I couldn't take a whole day off of work. I couldn't take a whole day off of work. It just wasn't going to happen, and it was like 5.5 hours away. But man, I was so jealous. I was watching my family swag surf, wishing I was there swag surfing, man. But yeah, man, it was a dope weekend.
You know what's funny about the whole Vanderbilt thing, which is kind of random? I've been watching Godfather of Harlem, right? So it's about Bumpy Johnson. I'm on season 2. In season 1, Bumpy had, and if you know who Bumpy Johnson is, he was a drug dealer boss in Harlem.
He was my grandfather's friend. Okay, stop talking crazy about it.
And he hung heavily with Malcolm X. All those things, right? So Bumpy was having an affair with Amy Vanderbilt, which is a descendant of the Vanderbilt family, and she was trying to aspire to understand the plight of the Black woman via feminism. And then, according to the show, this might be fictitious, but Bumpy's wife showed her the differences between white feminism and Black feminism. But it was,
well, who connected them? Adam Clayton Powell.
I because of the show, I have very I don't know about Homeboy, but maybe because the show is like it's supposed to be
who Adam Clayton Powell.
Yeah, you know
that was accurate though. That was accurate.
So he was a snake,
not a snake. Abyssinian Baptist Church. He was a reverend, which is the church I went to when I was a kid. My grandfather lived on Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard, right? After it was named after him. But he was known as a politician that fought for Black people, but had some sexcapades in his time. Like he was a woman, I won't say womanizer, but someone who say
womanizer.
Cool. I mean, I guess in that time frame, that's what it was.
He loved the women.
He loved
exactly. So and he was very promiscuous, I guess you would say, and you used his power for that. So that is a thing that is known to man today.
That's
but
funny.
the Vanderbilts in general, like it's funny that you say that. Like I was listening to the stories like on the tour. They were very much, of course, politically active so they can keep their money and their power. Right. But also the women in their family were very active for rights of women to vote, suffrage,
suffrage,
all of that stuff. So that doesn't really surprise me. And then listening to some of the writings from one of the daughters, it was like, man, she just didn't want to be rich. She wanted to live around like people of all different races and all different types. Like it's just funny. Like it's like when you're not rich, if you're literally the opposite of rich, if you're poor, you want things, and when you're rich, you just want like to feel better. You want to feel good. You want to feel loved.
Because maybe they see the impact that their money is having on people. You know, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer.
How was your weekend though, bro?
My weekend was kind of dope. So Saturday, matter of fact, Friday, we went and celebrated Tiff's brother's birthday at a steakhouse, which was cool. Then I came right back and then went back up to San Francisco and shot some content for these hoodies that's dropping on Thursday. So if you're listening to this, the hoodies already dropped. Go to finalword.store, cop these. But I got the new iPhone, right? And you know, there's never really a difference between iPhone and iPhone, yada, yada, yada. This iPhone camera,
I heard it's crap.
Different.
Make a movie.
Bro, if you go to my Instagram now, you'll see the Instagram couldn't even capture the quality of like the video. It's insane. It's wild. So I'm gonna be having some content throughout the week to make sure I promote these hoodies properly. And that was Saturday. So that was a cool day. And then Sunday, we had me and my neighbors downstairs who from Philly. We watched the Eagles game, and we Tiff made brunch, and my homie's wife made brunch, and then we had dinner with them, like
all day affair.
Yeah, because we live in the same building. Like they are a couple friends in California, right? So it's like, yo, we might as well just kind of save bread and just eat together at dinner time.
Yeah, it's what we would be doing anyway. Just make the house vibe. No, that's cool.
Like y'all bring the asparagus, we'll bring the.
I went to the supermarket in the morning, got the brunch stuff. They went out and got the dinner stuff. So it's like, boom, you live right downstairs. So
shout out to VAR for picking the cheaper of the 2 meals, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
I spent the hundo because I had to get the champagne.
Oh yeah, champagne.
Yeah, I had to get the champagne.
But you know, breakfast food ain't nothing though. You know that, right?
You're right. No, you're right. It was also like the replenishment of like the only thing we didn't buy was bacon, but we had to get the champagne, had to get the fruit for.
You know, they don't eat pork. They don't eat pork, or you had.
No. They already had bacon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you get pearl milling?
No, I didn't. I got the
Andrew Mama real name came out now.
I got the crustaceans, whatever the blue box is.
Oh yeah, crust. Yeah, that's my joint too. I like that.
Yeah. So I had a pretty decent weekend, man. So I'm glad to see. So let me make sure I highlight one thing. Obviously, we're here to amplify the voice of the modern black man, but
Hello.
Cleveland had a weekend, y'all. He didn't say, it was the same.
I ain't do nothing.
Because I usually
old,
I lay low.
old.
I lay low on the weekend.
Shout out to your wife for bringing your ass outside.
Word up.
Yeah, man. It was a good time. It was a good time.
Pulpit Poppy, KKA Hermit Crab.
I don't know. I think it's just the weather too, though. Because in the Northeast, like we still kind of got like that really nice weather where you kind of have to be outside to enjoy it.
Oh, this past weekend was a beaut. So it was 80 degrees this past weekend.
Zoe just said a beaut. He
said, chill, why you blowing me up?
Living in America.
Today was 88, son.
Oh nah,
bro.
It was about 78 here.
Nah, it's right.
You know how it is here though. Like we get like 2 weeks of like nice, beautiful fall weather, and then after that, it's a wrap. It's
cold and
rain. You get you get the slipperies.
That's it.
Yeah, it comes the rain, then it comes the cold, and then it's the winter.
It don't last long, right?
All right. So without further ado, man, let's get into these topics. So first and foremost, did y'all know that Facebook and Instagram was down today? Did y'all catch that?
Yeah, it was disrespectful. I did because I was trying to make a post for the Jux page, and for mine, and it just kept hitting me back like psych.
I was going to ask, how did you all notice? How did y'all notice? How did you bump into the mistake?
So I'll be honest, like I was actually looking for new topics for today for this joint, and you had given me the idea. You was like, "Yo, go see what's going on in the shade room. They probably got something to talk about."
Always got some shit.
So I went to hop on the Instagram, and I got an error, and I was like, "All right, well, it might just be tripping for now." I tried again a little bit later, same thing, and then on my feed, my news feed on my phone and on my laptop, I saw like CNN, MSNBC talking about like the apps being down. I'm like, this is like a headline right now. Like this is wild. It's a legit issue at this point. So that's how I found out.
Yeah, like a minor inconvenience to some is like, no.
Yeah, it was like millions.
That's sad. I honestly didn't even know that it was an issue until maybe a couple hours ago, like 3-4 hours ago, where I was just like, I went on this morning. Couldn't get on. I said, okay, cool. My Wi-Fi or the service is just probably bad. And I just left that alone. I just moved on from that. And then I went to show something to someone, and I was like, man, he's like, yeah. And they told me it's been a thing. I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize that. And I'm like, oh, I guess it's a thing. And just left it alone. Yeah. Like, it's not a big deal. We just got nothing else to talk about. And a lot of people, but for agencies that spend so much money on marketing through the social media, they felt the influence, or folks that get paid through it. Like people who are benefiting were the ones who felt that moment. And I get it, but I know we'll get into it later, but I feel like it's interesting acknowledgement of time, but I feel like we shouldn't come to that.
Let's talk about it.
It's an interesting acknowledgement. Like, damn, we come to a point where social media has that much influence, where before it was just college students just kind of kicking game to each other. You know what I'm saying? Where now it's just like the CNN is involved, and the FBIs are involved, and they're influenced and they're affected by the idea that social media is down today, Facebook and Instagram specifically, And low key though, you can call this conspiracy, but I know that Facebook has been under extreme investigation over the last few weeks, and this might be a way to pipe down. Y'all might just need to pipe down for real, because like they are who they are, and y'all trying to like regulate as much as y'all want, but they're still individuals at the end of the day that can make a decision.
You should let's go deeper there, Kev, because I think what you're speaking of is specifically the one thing that I know is yesterday on on 60 Minutes, there was a Facebook whistleblower. She had a segment. She had leaked some information to the press like March or April of this year. She had been in Facebook since 2021. Basically, what she was saying is that Facebook knows the negative impacts that are being had on the societies and communities and countries that are being negatively influenced by hate speech and fake news. And Facebook acknowledges that they're the best at killing disinformation, but only 3 to 4% of hate speech is action taken on it. So it is like 95% of information that is happening based on what she said is not being actioned on. They said that 16% of young girls have reported that Facebook makes them feel like they want to commit suicide. 17% said that they feel like Instagram makes their eating disorder worse. But what happens is the worse you feel, the more time you spend on the app. And the more time you spend on the app, the more money that Facebook makes. So I said a lot. How does all that make y'all feel?
Yo, this is why Facebook and Instagram being down was a headline, because I think people in general have put in way too much stake into social media, bro.
And not chicken, right?
Way too much stake, not chicken at all, bro. Because it's like any company is only responsible to an extent, right? That's the way I feel personally. I feel like it comes to a point where they can't be held accountable for everything that happens on their website, or they're just not going to be a website. They're not going to be in business. They're not going to be an application.
I feel
like
different.
Yo, here's why I feel like there has to be a point where people are held accountable, and not the vehicle they're using to communicate the message, but like the people themselves. And in terms of like blocking things out, okay, well, what's the investment? I mean, 3% out of 100% of the things that are going on, and it's like 3 to 4% of the things are being blocked out. I think they could do better, but I don't think it's all up to them, though. Honestly, yes, I don't.
It is. I'm gonna tell you why.
It's not, though.
I'm gonna tell you why. So
why is it?
They say that cars don't kill people, right? People kill people. Y'all have heard that phrase, right? Like a car is a dangerous. Well, what if a car had a protruding object in front of it, and it was fucking people up every time they drove by? If you get within 10 feet of that person, you die. At that point, yes, it's both the vehicle and the person's fault. Facebook understands what is wrong. They are the best at searching for, acknowledging, researching, and understanding what needs to be mitigated from their platform, and can do it via machine learning. They understand. I used to work for Facebook ads. For those who don't know, Facebook ads makes 92% of the money for Facebook. And if you don't know what a Facebook ad is, when you're on Instagram, you see a advertisement for something, you're just like, I don't. So small businesses rely very heavily on Facebook to market their products. So Facebook understands that the negative things get people talking. It will keep them on the platform longer, which makes people want to spend more ad money to promote their products and their objects to people. Facebook knows the problem. Are we expecting Facebook to 100% eradicate hate speech? No, but they are crippling countries currently. Elections currently. The insurrection on January 6th that took over the Capitol was organized on Facebook.
Wait,
that's what's crazy.
Wait. But here's the thing, though, right? Because I have heard that, but I also heard that the FBI was aware of this planned insurrection and aware of details that would have led to it. So where I'm going with it is this.
But think of who was the feds. Trump was the feds in January.
Well, yeah. But I see it like they have a responsibility. I don't think they should be intentionally doing anything harmful or intentionally making it so that people who are pushing these negative and potentially dangerous narratives are like getting more or seen more in other people's feeds. Like, they shouldn't be doing it intentionally. I think I always look at things from like the control what you can control aspect, whereas like if they can control it within reason, then they should be putting forth some effort to control it. But if they can't control it within reason means a lot of things. It means, what is the investment before it's just not worth being in business, because people keep doing crazy stuff with your tool, whatever your tool is. Right. Like what is that investment in preventing it to where it's like, all right, I'm just not going to do this anymore. So it's a fine line.
So, but okay, I want to hear Zoe and Kev's perspective on this, but all I'll say is that when you create a Frankenstein, you have to figure out a way to shut Frankenstein down. You just got to figure out. You created a monster. Got to figure out an antidote for the monster.
I say that it's unfortunate for Facebook to not have accounted for their power or for their capacity or how much influence that they didn't know they were creating. They knew what they were creating, but they didn't know what it was going to turn into.
Right.
They revolutionized the world. You know, in terms of how we operate, everything's on social media. We do everything there. We communicate, we do business, we interact, build a community. We buy and sell as a merchant, opportunities. We watch movies, watch stream, we entertainment, news, everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say this from my perspective. I'm not as in tune with social media. I've disconnected myself. And that's why I don't really share as much. It's just I just don't care about it. I just really don't care about social media like that. And I use it for what it is.
You use it. You don't let it use you.
Yeah, I use it. I just don't use it, but I use it. You know, like that's just what I don't live there. You know, I don't. And I understand it's a great way to let people know that you're doing okay and you're growing and you're living, you're alive and whatever. But that's just too much work for me to do that, you know, in my mind, right? And that's my perspective on just social media, right? So I say that it's unfortunate that we come to this point where people don't have enough accountability to say that they have to be more under control about utilizing a weapon.
Right.
Have some self-control. What the fuck? Put your phone down. What the fuck?
You know what? Because the people who it's impacting probably don't have the wherewithal that we do, which is to put the phone down.
Not knowing how to live without it, right? So I live in that world still. I still move like that. I still don't really post everything. I still don't post my whole world. I don't, you know? And it's just, I'd rather not do that for 1,000 reasons, right? And because I know how to do that at one point in my life, right? And I say this, if you're listening, you never had an adult life without social media, put your phone up for 30 days and discover a new world. You feel what I'm saying? Like, go 30 days without putting anything on social media, you know? Like, go do a fast for 30 days, you know what I mean? Like, in whatever comfortable way you can do that or you need to do that. But it's just sad that now we're at this point where Facebook has to go through, you know, because you want to see people thrive, right? You want to see people doing well thrive in terms of like, they figured out a cool way to make people connect. That's evolutionary, right? I think that's awesome. I just think it's unfair for them that they have to hold the accountability of other people. Now that
so you want Cleveland's wave. You think that it's on the individual versus the platform to be better.
No, I think it's on both, right? Now at this point, you have to take into a two-tier approach, right? You have to kind of go from the platform being developed where there are mechanisms to help people cope with the addiction of using social media. Then you need people who are dealing with addiction of social media to have strategy and skills to learn how to cope with the effects of being on social media. So, but everybody has to be held accountable, right? And I think that's what it is. I say, yeah, but I'm more on the people side though, if I had to pick one, right? But I think that Facebook could, as a leader in the space, revolutionize and take accountability by saying, well, this is how we're going to move because we are that, right? And that would be the right thing for them to do. But I don't think they have to. But
So how about you? You going to back me up? What you got?
I mean, I think that the intentions of Facebook, they never obviously didn't intend to that. It was a collegiate app, and it wasn't even considered social media because
the word didn't even exist before.
Yeah, the media aspect wasn't a thing. It was only if you had a .edu, like, you know what I mean? So but then it affects. We can see, Kev. We could do what we do is because we actually grew up. There was a time period where we didn't have it, so we had a life prior to it existing. So folks, like you said, who don't, it's hard for them because that's all they know. Like, we grew up, we saw where there was no, like, you had to have bread to have a computer, period. Like I had a typewriter.
You heard last week I ain't had no computer until I graduated college. So
speaking of which, my mom was so mad. She was like, "Why Var say that? I would have got his ass one. Why he ain't coming over here and saying something?" And then she brought up one of my cousins. She's like, "We got that trifling motherfucker one. We could have gave it to Var." And I was like, "Well, I mean, you didn't know." Like, I was like, "We didn't bring it up." She's like, "Nah, I don't want to hear that. He could have came over here and said something. All you had to do was mention it. Like, yeah, I ain't got no laptop, and we'd have got him one." Like,
look, man, I am proud. I'm a proud graduate of Rider University with a 2.5 GPA. Yet I made it.
Straight up. Yeah, you got in, got out.
But I had a 4.0 in grad school, though. You bitches.
That's what matters.
They caught you slipping, right?
Psych your mind. It was just a bullshit class I care about. Like,
I wanted to lay it up.
You stupid. I just think that it's a weird. I think they just need to do like remember Cleveland at the lottery. You said to like if you're addicted to gambling, you gotta call the number on the back. Like they gotta just do that and have some type of like hotline mechanism.
That's the mechanism.
I think this conversation is cute because I think y'all are so naive to the power that Facebook yields, yo. So powerful. Let me give y'all some more. Let's get some more information, right? So Facebook owns Instagram, right? Which also owns WhatsApp. So they're not only international, they're local, right? Clearly. They have the infrastructure to literally influence legislation and divide countries in half.
Well, they did it.
What they are able to filter in and filter out based on what their perspective wants to be. If Facebook wanted to make a mandate that hate speech is not tolerated on their platform, they can do it. Do you want to know how? Have you ever heard of shadow banning?
Nah.
Shadow banning is when folks on like activists get shadow banned, right? If they take your platform away, that means that that's more obvious, right? But what shadow banning is when the platform limits the people who see your content. So you don't even get a chance to put your message out there because that's not the rhetoric that people want to be portrayed. So a lot of Black activists get shadow banned from the platform because they are spewing more historical data that people don't know, right? Instead, the hate speech is then amplified. It's not one for one, apples for apples and oranges for oranges, but hate speech lives on Facebook almost exclusively. There isn't another place where it can be, right? They had this other chat that shut down. The federal government shut it down because it was too wild. But the research and development at Facebook is so comprehensive. The algorithm is so smart. Facebook ads know your life better than you. Like these things go deep, bro. There is no way that Facebook does not know the vast impact they are having on each and every one of us right now. And they know how fucked up our lives are because it was down today. They know, bro. Like, it is not a secret how much of a stronghold Facebook, the company, has on each and every one of our lives. And I end with this. I mentioned to Kev that we have the opportunity to put our phones down. Every single day, there's a kid turning 13 that has the ability to have their own Facebook account. And they've been watching their parents, their uncles, their aunts, their sisters, their brothers be on Facebook.
Facebook is a new license.
Yeah, yes, bro. Yes. They can't wait to have their own account. Media. They can't wait.
God.
So and they know it. And they just announced today that they're sunsetting the idea of having an Instagram for kids. They were going to launch that.
I caught that. That is crazy. Impressive, man. I didn't that moment just kind of clicked where it is a thing. It's a transitional period for a lot of people, right? Growing up in this world now.
They want a phone so they can be on social media. They all need is Wi-Fi. They don't need a cellular plan. They just need Wi-Fi.
I hear you. I don't disagree with you. I think the influence factor is important to consider, right? Because of just the algorithm and the AI technology that are involved and where we just spend our time, right? We all spend our times on our phone, but you have to have some type of self-control, self-discipline, because as much as you were brought into a world where technology is just taking over, you're not built to not do certain things, right? Like you have the functionality as a human being to connect with other people in a way to communicate, to get information. Now I know it seems foreign to a lot of us because a lot of people, you go to social events, people don't talk to each other because they don't know how to now, right? It's true. It's a lost art, right? But we still have the functionality of books. We have mouths and we have ears and we have eyes. So let's just utilize other resources or be mindful about implementing these types of like practices into our day-to-day culture, whether it's writing on a piece of paper, on a pen and pad, spending outside in nature or whatever those things that we need to be tapping into ourselves.
That shit sounds like the Stone Age to these kids.
I know.
I mean, I think you're on to something because I think that there's even there's an opportunity for probably all of us to go outside more. I can speak for myself. It's an opportunity for me to go outside more, get some fresh air, take a walk. And that takes effort, right? Because work, technology, what have you. But the kids,
they don't go outside, bro.
What? They don't even go outside.
I don't play that shit. I tell them to get out.
Like this generation, Gen Z is the population that I serve at work in terms of making sure that they're in tune. They're probably the smartest generation that's ever been, but also the simplest because all they know is efficiency and how things can work for them, but they're not really well versed in what they can do for themselves, right? So it's tough. Chicken or the egg, man.
I'll say this though, kids, they want to be outside. They want to have fun. It's just that, like, I'll speak for my nephew, right? When he's with his mom and his dad, outside is not a thing because they're in a community. So it's not like going outside we don't need to do that. Everything's in the house, right? But when he's with his grandmother or he's with me, he's out. Well, he's with me, he's outside. So I'm mindful of that, right? I'll take him to the park every day. That's where I let them go and expend all their energy, right? We'll just let them go loose and run around for hours, right? While I just bring them home, they fall asleep because I don't want you to be in the house with all that energy, right? So we're taking this outside, right? But when he's with his grandmother, he's inside. So it's not like they don't want to be outside. It's just that inside is so much convenient for a lot of parents to manage their child, or to raise their child. You know what I'm saying? Because going outside is not a thing. Because I could play with my friends online, video games. Right. We used to go to our friend's house to play video games. That's the only way you can play video games with your friends. So you gotta pull up on me. You know what I'm saying?
He got a PS2. I got a GameCube. Whatever.
And I better know their parents.
And you gotta know their parents.
You gotta know their parents.
I'm just encouraging that we not necessarily allow technology to manipulate our day-to-day, but use technology to enhance our day-to-day, right? And that's what technology is meant for. And I think we're focusing and we're using technology as like a clutch, and we're not realizing that it's taking over our lives.
That's the perfect point. It should be an aid, not the thing. It should.
For sure.
So as we had this conversation, right, it only magnifies one of my pet peeves, which is being that we know that people are always on their phones and shit, right? If you ignore my text, I want to fight. Because I know you've been on your phone.
You just like my picture. You ain't going to say,
word up. That's why because of this conversation is why if you egg my shit, sir, I take it personal.
Yeah.
Because I know you was on your shit.
You should take it personal. I would take it personal. I would literally take it personal. Because
all right, I'm not tripping there. Okay.
I don't want people. I hate when I used to hate, or one of my things, I used to hate when people don't answer my phone call. I don't know what it was about it. I just got antsy. I hated it. I hated the rejection of it. I just get really upset.
Not rejection.
It's rejection because you speak to the white lady on the phone, and now that's not who I call.
The person you have tried to reach.
Yeah. So it's just but to the point is sometimes it's the moment in time I'm adding up where I get it, so I don't take it personally. But
a phone call is different from a text, bro. A phone call I get nowadays. We know we be too busy. We only got time to stop. But a text, son, you could do that, take a shit. You could do mad stuff, cook something.
The point of a text is a convenience. Go ahead, Kev.
It is, but it's not. It is a good point because I had a moment the other day, right, where A, I was driving, so I couldn't respond right away, right? And then B, the message that I received, I wasn't in a position to give a full thought because I feel like it needed more attention. It needed a heartful response.
Right.
And just anything wasn't going to be enough. So I just had to. You're going to have to wait till I get to that point, right? And that was a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? And I know the person probably thought I was a piece of shit because it was a thoughtful message, but I never really got a chance to say thank you because it was just so hard. I was just like, no, I got to be in that moment to respond.
You know what else is? You know what else is?
But that's
what they got now?
What?
They got voice notes.
Oh yeah, I do that a lot with my cousins.
Yo, bro, I'm driving. I'm gonna get back to you.
I do that a lot. Me and my cousins.
But not trying to say that's what Kev should have done. But to Zoe's point, there are moments that if you are in the tight spot, you can let me know what's going on.
I'm gonna tell you why, right? So I had because somebody ignored my text, I fired him. No, I'm serious.
I believe you.
Living in America.
Like it was work related. Are you going in? Are you not going in?
Oh, that's different. That's different. But that's totally different.
So you quit. First of all, you either quit or got fired or whichever.
And that means your boss shouldn't be having to. If I had to do that, you was already about to get fired. I was just trying to be nice and give you the
courtesy. Here's a question, because I've had this conversation in my own head without nobody else on the other side. When you get a job, are you obligated to communicate with your boss or your manager through text messaging?
No, but I requested because I don't want these niggas calling me. That's why. Yeah, they call me for the stupidest shit. I had somebody call me at 5 o'clock in the morning, like, yo, such I said, can you text it to me? I'm asleep and I'm feeling like crap this weekend. I'm like, whatever you said, put it in writing and I'll figure it out.
Because I don't ever want my managers to text me unsolicited if we ain't like that. Like, my office hours are, you know what time.
But see, it's a cultural thing. See, that's what I'm saying. It's a culture, meaning like the culture of where my business is and what you do is I completely understand. Like if I ever when I worked in corporate America in cubicle style or whatever, y'all, I didn't even give you my cell phone number. Y'all don't got my cell. And most of the time when I had those jobs, sales reps, I had a different phone because they gave it to me. So that's the number. But when I'm running like overnight security, like I kind of gotta, and then I'm not talking because I'm like, it's late. I'm waking my family up, whatever. Like, yo, is something happening or whatever? You good? Most of the time, like, yo, I forgot to hit the checkpoint. Okay, nigga, like, whatever. It's coming out your check. Like, you know the rule. Like, stop. Why you texting me that? Like, you're not getting no. By you calling me is not gonna change anything. Like, it's not a fire. The building's not crashing. Why are you calling me?
It's not on
sometimes
fire,
I just get nervous that I'm gonna like share or send the wrong thing too at the same time. Like
you better not send a text to your manager.
Nah, nothing like that. But you know what I mean. Like I'll be laughing at something and just
fuck out of here. It's just like, oops, my bad.
My bad, not you.
Right.
You're pretty clean with everything that you text. So I can't imagine you sending the wrong thing to. Unless you tell your manager, like, love you, babe, by accident. You talk to your wife.
But everything is context. Everything is context. Like something I would send to y'all, I may not send to my manager. Like,
that's true. Yeah. Like a meme or something.
Yeah. They may not.
I see. That's where I'm like. That's where I'm. I again. That's just me using the technology, and I'm gonna use it right, and I'm not gonna get too caught into like how you feel about my message because I'm texting you. Now, if we can talk, then you'll get a different version. I'm going to text you how I text everybody. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's just what and there's rules because you're not going to send I like to use emojis because I like to show that there's character. I like to show there's a personality. I like to show that, and it might be a subtle one where it's just like, oh, a peace sign or, oh,
don't send us no damn eggplant, nigga. Don't do that.
Nah. But
oops, sorry,
it's always dark skin. It's the darkest skin I'm going to find. I'm going to send that at all costs. Let you know.
You know what time
that's me. That's the darkest emoji,
right? That's the name of this episode, the darkest emoji. Fuck it.
It's going to be the darkest emoji. I'm sending you the darkest emoji at all costs. And I took time to convert all of them into some dark skin motherfuckers.
Yo, bro, you're not lying. It takes time to convert.
It definitely. You got to press and hold. You got to select the right
all of them. I did them all.
Before y'all go with the jokes, I use the light skin. I don't use the yellow one.
So you better not. If I get a yellow for you, so I ain't fucking with you.
You hold on, which Which
I
one do
use the
you
light
use?
tan, the light brown joint, the brown. Like,
What's the
This nigga
character?
You gotta
mad.
send an
Dave Chappelle
example.
do?
You gotta send an example.
What's the character that Dave Chappelle do when he's the news guy?
oh yeah, oh I forgot. I know you talking about. And he forgot he was on camera. He's like, oh
His color. What's his name? Like Todd or something.
no, that nigga's he's like toothpaste. Like that.
Yeah, he's like,
I ain't that like. I don't do the yellow one either because that's too many jokes. Like people be lining me up.
Oh my god, yo.
Yeah, so that's a text. That's my thing. Text.
I want to shift gears for a second and talk about bro code, right? So
emojis and bro code.
Emojis and bro code.
I just sent y'all the color.
Let me
That's
see
my
this
color.
thing, man.
I'm tapped
Is
out.
that accurate? Is that not accurate? Is that?
This is definitely Puerto Rican. This is
Well, now it's how the color Puerto Rican? Ain't no color.
This is definitely Puerto Rican. Cleveland, that's not Puerto Rican.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Latinx right there, brother.
Yo,
That's Latinx.
Here's my other one. This is what happens. Shit. This is Latin.
He called you
you guys
emoji
took it up one
Latinx.
level, man. You go trigger a lot of people.
Yo, you saw
Why
yo,
you
your
call
fist,
your emoji
yo, your fist and your
Latinx?
clap, two different complexions, bro.
No,
Why are
I
you-
didn't even notice that. I didn't notice that. Oh,
Yo,
shit.
see?
Yo, son,
I didn't
why
notice
do
that.
you
Maybe
call
I was
his
doing it in
emoji
sunlight or
Latinx?
something one day.
I am crying. Oh my god.
My bad.
Say
Damn,
like
I ain't
that.
know that my fist and my emoji is different colors. I must
Yeah,
have
they
been doing
definitely
this in
different
the- in the
colors.
light.
Which one
My
is
bad.
closest? You think?
The Puerto Rican?
Okay.
First of all, I take offense to this. This is very offensive. The only reason why it's Latinx is because of who I'm married to. Okay.
Butter pecan chocolate deluxe.
Yeah.
It's not about y'all know that's my favorite Wu-Tang song though, right? Y'all know that? I quizzed my wife like, yo, what's my favorite Wu-Tang song? And she was
Oh
like, the
my God.
one with the ice cream. I was like, you goddamn right.
Oh my god. You call this nigga emoji Latinx. I am
I'm done with
crying.
y'all. Y'all get on my nerves. AJ, leave that out. No, that gotta be a clip. That gotta be a clip.
Oh, it has to be. That is hilarious.
Kev killed me with that because I knew exactly what Kev was talking about. I feel like I only use the color emojis when I'm talking to white people.
Nah, I'll let them know.
Like I let them know, like y'all know who you texting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, let's shift gears to bro code. Emojis and bro code, man. So I'm not sure if I got a chance to, let me start with the level set. Have you all heard of a group called B2K by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah,
The music group? You talking about the music group, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I just want to
yeah.
make sure because nowadays we old and we might refer to a music group, they might refer to something new.
You know how immature it became IMX? None of that.
Yeah.
None of that.
Okay.
Nah, none of that. So, y'all might not care about this, but let me just set the scene just to kind of let y'all know what the deal is. So, Omarion has a baby with a woman named April, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was he got 2 kids with her. That was his girl. Everything was all good. They were on Love and Hip Hop.
I remember this back when I used to watch it.
Right. So, if you are familiar with another brother from B2K named Lil Fizz, he is also on Love and Hip Hop, was on Love and Hip Hop. And he then began to have a relationship with the mother of Omarion's children after they broke up.
And they were in a group together.
They were in a group together for years, right?
Since like teenagers.
Yes. Now, clearly that is a violation on I don't know how many levels, but then Omarion and B2K went on tour last year in the Millennium Tour, and it was turmoil the whole time. This is while Homeboy is still fucking with Omarion's ex, what have you. This past weekend, Lil Fizz was on stage, told Omarion he was sorry. He said he was sorry in front of the LA crowd. Seemed like it was all good. I want to ask y'all, as fellas who I know almost my whole life, half my life at least.
Yeah, literally.
At what point does it, I know for y'all it wouldn't get to an apology, right? It's going to be stopped and mitigated way before then. When do you stop fucking with somebody for violating bro code? How soon in the chain do you, because in my mind, you have mad steps. You got the, yo, bro, I'm fucking with shorty, or somebody tell you like, yo, your man fucking with your old work, your baby mom, and your ex-girlfriend, right? And then they're on TV talking about how you was around, right? And then people are asking you in interviews, like, yo, how about your man? You know, your man fucking with you at work, right? So it's multiple steps where you can cut bull off and it wouldn't even get to an apology. So I want to know, so you can start. When
I'm edgy on this.
When do you cut somebody off for violating bro code?
Well, first of all, that little, I don't do well with apology, right? So not only do I not apologize, but like I don't really accepting them is a little weird to me too, because I'll just be like, I don't know if I accept it, just depending on what it is, don't let it happen again. But then something like this, there's not going to be an opportunity for them to happen. Like, you can't come to me like, I'm sorry, Martin, I ain't want to go to Arizona. Like, that ain't gonna fucking work with me, okay? That ain't happening. But like, that was a different level of breaking bro code. It's different from like your ex-girl off limits. Like, y'all, they had children. So like,
yeah, that changes things a lot.
That's like a whole different kind of mess. You know what I mean? And I would hope that nobody. I don't know. I think we as a group in our world, in our chapter. Our chapter, because the new Negroes, they don't have those same rules apparently. But that's another story for another day. But the Eta Delta chapter that I knew, we always communicated who was what and boundaries. Remember, we had an episode years ago, a year ago, or whatever, boundaries. So we had boundaries, like if it was your girl, and you got to double up when the series, right?
You got you know how when you trying to date somebody at work, you got to tell HR, like let the bros know that this is you are pursuing.
You got to put your fork in the ground, your flag in the ground, and say, yo, off limits, white flag up, like boom. And then if they your real bros, they'll fall back. Regardless of now. It gets a little dicey if they was originally community box, then it get a little strange. But even then, you should still have to respect
community box.
You still got to respect.
It gets tricky. It gets tricky when you think you claim something that don't want to be claimed, and she giving the other bro static. She like, nah, I like her, yes, but she keeps talking to me. she don't like you. She don't like you.
What's funny about what you just said though is like it was like halfway in code, and I'm sitting here thinking like, would I understand that if I was of a different cultural group, and persuasion. I probably would not. But like I got everything means, you just said. No, the whole line. It's like, you know what I mean? But when it comes, it's like it's a clear line. I just have to say that.
What's the line?
If it even came to a point where somebody is messing with your ex and the mother of your children, it's hard for me to believe that that's really your boy. It's just hard for me to believe that, because I wouldn't even want that level of discomfort with like somebody I'm supposed to be brothers with. I wouldn't even feel comfortable like entertaining that. Like, because to me it's like, that's my guy. I don't want to feel weird like bringing my significant
how your kids
other around.
Then the kids be like, ain't that Uncle Fizz? Like,
right. That's wild.
if I'm putting myself in Zoe's shoes, Zoe would be like, well, damn, how long you been looking at my girl?
Thank you. That was my next statement. I was waiting. Like,
good point.
Like, wait a minute.
How long you been looking at my girl?
You're plotting for the minute. Like,
listen, man.
Give it to us, Kev.
I think that it's unfortunate for the relationship, because it's no coming back from that, right? Unfortunately, because you were getting money together, and
right. And you talking about the guys,
yeah, because that's essentially what she don't care. She doesn't matter. No offense to her, but it was the conversation really is about how the relationship is gonna grow now, right? And with the effects of it. That's what really matters. It's like, it's just one of those things where I think it's still kind of, I don't think neither one of them are married, right? I don't know for sure. No. I don't think so. So it's kind of interesting though, because she's still for the streets, you know what I mean? Real talk. Yeah. And a real
just stay off my avenue. Just stay off this avenue.
She was on the same street, son. She was in the same building. Like
she was in the same neighborhood. Like you could have went to another side of the city.
Nah, it's not neighborhood, bro. Neighborhood
she
is
was
like
in the same house, bro.
Yeah, that's the
right.
building, yo.
You're
There
right.
was a 2-family house, and she was upstairs.
She was upstairs.
But she has a child by one of them already, though, right?
She got 2 kids with Omarion. Yeah.
And he jumped in that next.
And the homeboy after him, yeah.
Like, I want some too.
Yeah, Kev, you dumbfounded. Kev, like, damn.
No, but are they still? See, I don't know the conversation of Marion and Fizz, and I don't know what that's like now. But I mean, we don't know what the relationship
they dapped on stage. They
dapped, and he apologized to him publicly on stage.
And they cool and they straight after that. I mean,
we don't know.
That's the image. That's the image.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. They would have to shoot the fade backstage.
I got 2 ways to look at this. She could either just been for the team, and that's just what ended up being the result of that, because she didn't get picked up by no team, bro, and because she didn't get picked up by no team,
she was on.
That's just she's just been on the block forever, and that's just what that is. She just got called for tryouts, and she kept on putting up to practices.
But that's like label mates is the block.
Nah, bro, that's a one day contract, bro, and that's just what happened. You know what I mean?
But he didn't make it a 1-day contract.
Hold on, Zoe.
That's real talk.
She tried out for the team,
but she kept showing up for
practice.
That was it. She didn't make the team. She didn't make the squad. I was like, yo,
I'll be on the practice squad.
She kept suiting up. Oh my god!
Or she was like a group of friends that we know that used to play on the practice squad with some people that we know.
Yep, we damn sure do.
Thing, Brian. That's the thing. I don't think their relationship is tainted from this, because she wasn't. She got married, but like we get so like us as a man is so. I find it funny because I have some type of discipline. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I do have discipline when it comes to certain things. But we as men, and I'm gonna say this loud, we take ownership in the box when it's not our box until we claim it to be until we make that decision where this is what it's gonna be.
I mean, you know,
it's all you for the streets until you on a team, in my humble opinion. So, like, you know, if Omarion didn't find the value in making her his wife, then that wasn't really what that was supposed to be. And
wasn't there like a season where they were supposed to, or something happened in it? It was like,
yeah, but yo, Kev, you're making a great point. You're making a great point.
If Omarion's like, yo, she can't play for me. That's what he's really.
But you can't splash twice if that's the case.
But no, you can.
Practice. She got 10-day contracts.
The thing
yo, we need you.
But why? But why are you? No, not the twice part. It's the why are you? If I'm coaching this team, right? Why my man got to be the one to put her on the squad, even if it's for tryouts? It's like you were there. I probably confided in you about how good she is.
Dog, they had to be in some type of serious.
Jumper is wet. It's crazy.
Yeah, even
if it was that wet, why don't you franchise it? Why don't you sign her up? If it was that crazy,
maybe she got weak ankles.
Maybe her ankle. After the second one, you know what time it is. At this, and you know,
after two chips.
Black culture. I'm a father of black culture because you know we and part of it is, I think that I've never said this before anywhere else. I'm probably like not wrong, but I'm jumping a lot.
Exclusive.
Yeah, word. But the fact that we tend to do well as time moves forward. Okay, as time progresses, we tend to do very well. We get better later in life.
Men?
Because us specifically, as black men.
Okay.
Right? As time advances, we just get better. Mm-hmm. Physically, mentally, if we're doing the right things, right? Mm-hmm. We age well, essentially, right? As to why we tend not to want to marry at a younger age. So we want to hold out. We want to be in the field a little longer because we can still play for a while if we really wanted to, right? And you watch the 45s that's really doing well in live, and they still out here playing because they can mix in with that. They can do that, right? And my point I'm making is that I want to advocate that black men take love or take building a family a little more seriously, because it's only going to elevate our community as a whole if we could focus on building our families, right? Mm-hmm. And if we, I'm not saying this would ever happen collectively because we're all different, but putting ourselves in a position where we are trying to achieve more at a younger age to build for the future is where we can win, right? Mm-hmm. Rather than, and we eliminate single families, homes, and things of that nature. And we just kind of like push that out there a little bit more. The reason why I'm saying that is because the value of having a significant other is only going to make you a better man. And if you have the right significant other and you're building the right idea of a family, that's only going to take you to another level, because the only thing that gets in our way is women and money as men. Those are the two things that can really distract you from your mission. And ego and pride. Yeah, for sure, right?
But you don't think he was doing that? I mean, he was building a family, right?
Yeah, but I think Omarion, given who he was, he didn't commit to that, right? He didn't commit to that. He said that's what he wanted to do through action, but he never really committed, right? And I think as long as you don't commit, then they're always on waivers, bro. And we got to get out of our ego just because we dive up in it, that is ours. If it's yours, you got to do what it takes to say that is yours. You know, do what it takes to claim to do how you want to feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't say with your chest type of vibe. In my humble opinion, because I had to limit myself. I had to really humble myself because I was almost a dangerous kind of guy before I got married. I was, I was the type of guy, you're not treating her right, she can come with me and she probably never come back. You know, and this is before I met my wife.
Can we hit the bomb for that?
You know, and what I'm saying is that there's guys that are really out there that know their value, know what they can bring to the table. And if she is all of that, you say that she is, bro, then step up to that, right? And become what that is, right? Essentially. But she's not.
Like, I see you on her arm, but what's on her finger?
Yeah, because she's not nothing on the finger, and she's still for the play. Like, and
Beyonce said that you should have put a ring on it.
Right. But my point is that, like, guys, like, my mind, she's not for anybody until you really move into that, right? And I hope
the group though,
I hope their relationship is not tainted from that. I know it's hard because it's like, man, we shared albums, we shared baby moms, and maybe that's a thing, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they can do that.
That's not a thing, bro. Kev, talk about. Hold on, I'm about to
share albums.
I'm not about to listen. I agree with what Kev is saying. I'm not disagreeing in the overall premises of it, right? However, Kev, we all had significant others.
No, Zo, you're not going there. Just if you're gonna do it, be super vague. I know where you're going. I know where your mind works. Go ahead.
No. Listen. We all had significant others, and we didn't marry them. This is prior to our current day. Mm-hmm. I'm taking us back to our 20s, right? Maybe teens, late teens, early 20s, right?
Right.
So at any point in time, like, I just felt like I don't know whether anybody was attracted to each of our exes. Like, I don't know that. Like, I ain't never asked. I never cared to ask, because we've already blocked in our head that once you said that's wifey, it's off limits. You understand?
Yeah, it's like sister vibes. Sister vibes.
Exactly.
But that's a certain group of people, though. Like, in that culture.
But why not them? They were kids.
We didn't make millions together.
That's how no, I'm not going to say that. That's has nothing to do with it, right? Because I think realistically it's about what our culture is as the brotherhood that we've established, right? And if we played with that before, then that doesn't change just because you dumped off in one and you didn't put a ring on it. We still out here moving like that. And I might have misconstrued being on tour and being in France and moving around how we was moving to this.
I see what he's saying now.
You know
so Kevin's saying throwing it back to when they was in the field for real. It might have been that, but with the same.
But do we know? No, we can't say the same.
No, we don't.
I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm just saying that's what is allowed, and that's what their culture looks like from the outside looking in, because I wasn't looking from the outside. I'm only looking from the outside looking in. And
Kev, there was never anything that was. We had a culture at some point in life where it was like there was.
We on tour. All right, cool. I get that totally. But I don't know the situation. For us, we just don't move that way, right? I think we all agree that, like, I felt that energy. Like, in my significant others, I always felt like it was just sister vibes. I never felt something uncomfortable, right? And I hope none of y'all felt that way. I always felt like if this is my brother, or somebody I'm rocking with, and it's sister vibes. I will say this on record once, however, there was a moment in high school where that moment actually happened. That pretty much I can see how it happens. I see how it just could happen.
This is the origin of his understanding was in high school.
It's just back in high school, you know, and I'm gonna say this because it's like shit was high school 20 years ago damn near. But you know, you go through a place where you rocking with somebody and the moment is what it is. We out here rocking. Like you might walk home from buddy type vibes. You feel me? We do that and then we just build from there. You leave, you flood the scene, you leave out, and I get a call to sub in the game. I'm like, shit.
Coach, it's time to go in. All right, cool.
But the thing is that you know, even with that intention, you still like wanna maintain integrity with the relationship. So you go through your shit. We gotta talk about this, and you have that conversation. And there is a moment, and I can see it being like a moment where you just don't expect it to be anything more than what it was supposed to be, given what you think the circumstances were. And shit, my God, man, it might take a turn on you. You might have a kid, you know, and that's just people being adults.
I'll flip the script. And if I'm trying to be objective, I've been April before, right? There was a time where I was for the streets. So at one point I was for the streets, right? So I've been in a position where I was April, so to speak. I feel like there was times in
June
my life,
and July.
There were times in my life where I fucked up some friendships just by the opportunity being open for me to do it, right? And in that time, I was like, shit, this ain't my issue. It's some shit y'all got to figure out.
Terrible.
But that's
right.
Essentially, in this situation, she might be like, all right, yeah, that was with him, but now I want you. And if you got an issue with that, you got to go talk to your man because I'm a free agent. I can do what I want. Yeah. And in my situation, Shorty was like, nah, fuck that. I'll deal with her later. All right, cool. Well, fuck it. We're going to rock and roll. And she had to deal with the repercussions of the back end conversation. And then the old piece came to me and was like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, look, that's old, isn't it?
But that's the bro code, right?
But like, it's code. Like, which relationship?
Let's listen to the pulpit poppy. All y'all we all spoke.
I want to bring it. I guess I like where you took that because like bringing it like, I guess a level higher than what actually happened with like the fellows from B2K and the other young lady. Like, it's like, which relationship matters more, right? Like, which relationship matters more? That's what it boils down to me. It's like, you got to understand, like, if I'm going to get involved with this person, what does that do to my relationship with somebody I call my friend? This is somebody I call my boy. This is somebody. So it's like, you make that consideration, and maybe it does take a certain amount of maturity and it takes a certain culture within the group to establish that kind of respect. But it's like, if this is going to cause an issue between me and somebody that I call a brother and call a friend, I'm not even heading in that direction, period. Like, I'm not even going to entertain it. And if I feel like it's coming to a point where it's like, dang, well, maybe I want to or whatever, there's still other ways of going about that. But in my opinion, once you have kids with someone, I'm not going down that road.
There's no way. There's no way to say I want to fuck my friend's ex. There's no way to say that.
No. I'm truly. I mean, but I feel like there's people that we know have done. They have, right?
But Kev, then they be like, that ain't really my friend. That ain't my
God, like
right. They start dissecting me.
That's when you
start.
I'm
talking about your man though, like your boy.
Nah, that's different, Cleve. If you're my man, my guy, then I feel like then you have to take on the responsibility of being a brother to that, because you want to see somebody you love happy, right? And you want to protect that with that person. That and that's real talk.
No, you didn't. You telling me that if somebody that from our crew started dealing with your ex and they were happy, you have to assume the brother role? Like
no,
that's not what he meant.
I think he meant
okay.
At this point, I could care less at this point, right? But what I was saying is that, like, if you were dating somebody, then I'm the brother to the person that you're dating now.
Oh, okay.
That's just the relationship. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's how that transfers. I think my point I was trying to make was the dating with baby moms. I told my wife the other day, if I would never date someone seriously, and I said that right, and she took offense to that because she said to me pretty much that I wasn't being conscious of someone else's situation. I'm like, and I don't think I'm saying that. I don't think I'm
finished the joint. You would never date
You would never
somebody
be serious.
who
I would date somebody. I would never date a woman that had kids before we got married. Like I wouldn't have done that, right? And she took offense to that, and it's because like I wasn't giving her. I'm pretty much not giving a person an opportunity. And I'm saying no, that's just not what that is. It's just that I just don't necessarily want to deal so much with. I don't feel like I want to deal with what comes with the priority complex, right? Because I'm not a priority. I won't be a priority, and I need to be a priority, right? And that's just my drawing of conditions where if I'm asking you to do this and you can't because of a situation, then this may not work. This may not grow how I want it to grow. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I was saying with that. But I think that was it. But yeah, that was just to the idea of dating with kids. And Cleveland said that, and I just kind of wanted to share that I actually brought that up, and my wife was kind of felt like it was a thing. And
but imagine that times 1,000. So imagine dating somebody who has kids by your boy. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like
wow, yo. Like,
but how about you said
our friend group?
How about you having a whole night out, right? You having a great time with John, right? And then she ain't got her kids this weekend. And then your boy come to drop the kids off while you upstairs.
Nah, son, you can't.
You know what I'm saying?
That dynamic is just strange.
And you answer, I know them Jordans, right?
Yeah, just like 100%. It is.
What's up, Bo? Like, fuck you.
Disagree.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing. Like you said, the brother, sister, like it's the role that we took, but that role, it happens even after we're done with them. Like after we're done with them, it's like, yo, because my rule. If you done with them, I'm done with them. Like,
right.
That was my mama rule when I dated girls. Like, you don't like them, I don't like them. You like them, we all right. Like, so I just let it. I follow that same rule to apply with y'all. Like, my loyalty is to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like I might see the person say, "Hey, what's up? How you?" I'm not gonna be rude to them. I'm gonna be cordial. How you doing?
But you're not about to do the check-ins and see how they feeling.
Yeah, how you with that, bro? So, Var, you gave your point on that. Like, how do you feel about them two? Like, I feel like you haven't really said it yet.
I feel like it's foul. It's foul city. Like, because the way that I feel about it is, if let's assume that that's his man's, right? You were there for the baby shower, bro. You were there for the announcement. Yeah, you were there for the announcement. Like, yo, bro, I'm having both. I gave you a cigar.
Maybe two.
I gave you a baby blue cigar.
I gave you a cigar. Like, yeah, we're about to grow my family. Like, you know what I mean? He giving me advice. He like, yo, I'm so happy for you. 4 years later, you piping my joint on national TV. On national TV,
raping it.
Nah, man. I feel like it's foul because I don't know what your intentions were, and I feel like I would have been violated because I probably confided in you with a certain amount of information. Yeah. But taking it a step further, if they were just business partners as bandmates and not friends, that's different. Because that means that he's close, but not tight. So
but what group is like that?
I don't agree with that.
That's like Line Brothers, yo. You traveling the world. You going on tour. They like pledging together.
Yeah.
Look at how many boy bands break up, bro.
Yeah, but not over that.
Pretty much.
That's like Money and Solo. Like I think I can sing better than you.
But like not breaking up because of the women, but they probably just like, yo, we make great music together. Because some of these bands are manufactured. They just put people together who are talented in the city. And like, we are bandmates, but like, we're not tight. Like, that's my guy on tour. But when you off tour, like when I'm away from y'all. Go ahead.
So let's say you've made it to the league and you're playing for the Philly Sixers.
Right.
Because it's kind of like saying you just got a bunch of guys playing together on the same team. Mm-hmm. There's a brotherhood still that comes within that, right? And it probably happened because think about when Dante,
wasn't it?
No, not Lamar. My man from Cleveland, doing LeBron. Yeah.
That's violation,
right? So it was enough for him to say, "I'm out of here," right? real time, because the dynamic will never be able to we can never do great work together. It's our energy. If it's not all the way, then it's not going to work, right?
Well, here's a more current example: Ben Simmons and Embiid, right?
Embiid wants him back, though.
You think so?
He
but you can tell you can tell there's friction, though. You can tell that there was friction, and they probably aren't the best of friends. They probably don't talk when they're outside of the facility, but they make great money together, and either one of them probably wouldn't be where their career is without the other, because they had to both coincide to win as far as they've gone.
But I just think with that situation, Ben Simmons just being a little girl about it, like
no, you are.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because son, if anyone
wait for the listeners.
Yeah,
so what's the story?
We're going too far. All right, so here's the deal, Cleveland. I'm using Embiid. I'm using Embiid and Ben Simmons as an example of people who work together and probably make great money together, but may not be friends. There's a kinship that exists as teammates that you have in a ride or die attitude, but he might not be your homie. But Ben Simmons is not reporting back to Philly because he's like, y'all sold me out to the media when the whole shit went down.
I got a good analogy. It's like when Nick Cannon was in Drumline, remember? And he
oh my God.
And he started playing on the other guy's drum. And then everybody fought. Right. The dude was like, I was throwing bows for whatever the name of that fake school was.
Yeah,
like Atlanta A&M or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
But like Kev said, it's just feel, because at the end of the day, all it was the critique. They were so in shock and so disappointed in the play that he made.
Fuck y'all.
The person who made it worse was Doc Rivers, because the question
was
Rivers messed up with that.
But
Doc got a chance to clean it up.
Son, he did.
I don't know if you clean that up.
He didn't though. He didn't.
Bro,
he messed it up.
You know Philadelphia. It's a cutthroat city. Not only did I expect the city to not fuck with me for some time, but the team, the organization, my coach.
Time out.
Nah, bro, fuck you.
Think basketball. If you ever did some wild shit like that, you would play like that. That play was just something we never seen before.
Bro, I'm telling you.
He beat Charles Smith joint.
Bro, look, I'm going to tell you why it's not accurate. Matisse Thybulle fouled homeboy and put him on the line. Ben Simmons just didn't take a shot trying to get a better play. His confidence was fucked up. He ain't the one that fucked the game up. Matisse Thybulle fouled dude. He made and he don't get no smoke. No smoke.
I get it, but
it's because it's niggas
the easiest basket in the basketball. It's called basketball. You put the ball in the basket.
They weren't down by like it
doesn't matter.
We get deep into the game.
I know we get deep, but dog, he was 6'10".
All in all,
right there, the basket is 7 feet.
Here's the deal. We're about to get on out of here and get the Zonos. Omarion should be sick. Should have punched a nigga in the face. Lil Fizz is foul.
He should have fizzled out.
Yeah, he flat. He ain't got no fizz. Yeah, that's
bros
before. Yeah, always bros before them hoes. We always gotta do that.
Kev made a good point. Should have brought her up to the practice squad.
Yeah, you should have signed her up. And
but can I tell you, that goes back to what we said before. It's all about boundaries. If you establish the boundary, or we all in a group and we establish that person's purpose in the group, then there should be no confusion. You see what I'm saying?
Right. No. Because he felt it was great enough to cuff on national TV and have 2 children. If that's not a sign to say get off my lawn, I don't know what is.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, get off my lawn. But that's what I'm saying. Well, however he relayed the message, whether they had a group meeting and like, all right, y'all, she off limits, mom, or we publicize it.
Should you have be so?
It was not specific at that point, right? Because they had kids, so it was already assumed this is my lawn. But my point I was making is,
I get Kev's point.
Got to put the ring on it. You got to solidify. You got to close the deal.
You're right.
But you got to put a ring on and close the deal for people that's not your friends or in your inner circle.
Yeah, unfortunately.
If you in my inner circle, it don't matter what I'm doing. What if I want to be? We gonna just live like what they call that, like common law.
Yeah,
40 years together. That's my girl. We got like 12 kids.
Here go a twist. Here's a twist. Oh, this is so bad. How about Omarion was confiding in Fizz, right? And like, yo, I went to Vegas this weekend. God, it got crazy. And Fizz is like, yo, what about April? Nah, she'll be all right. Fizz like, all right.
He blew it up.
Yeah, no, he went like, yo, I know you, man, they're doing you right. What you mean? So Fizz is foul. Let's get into your favorite segment.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Hey, yo, Zoe knows this. Zoe knows that. So light skin. Zoe stay black.
Like the emoji.
Nah, you got the banana. You got the butter and the scotch one, man. I don't know.
Butter pecan chocolate deluxe.
You're gonna stop. You're gonna stop these little racial undertones. You're gonna stop these racial undertones against me and my crew. Okay,
your crew.
Anyway, first on Zonos, I'd like to bring up that the Giants got to win and the Jets got to win.
They did. They definitely did.
The Eagles lost, unfortunately, but
come on, man.
I just was like, damn.
It was a good game, though.
The only reason why I brought it up, Giants, because I actually bet against my team. Like, I had the picks, all the picks for the week at the job site, and I was like, my heart want to go with the Giants, but the way it's been working, we ain't about to do this. And then I was like, yay, no, like at the same time.
My man had Tyreek Hill on his fantasy team, but he's an Eagles fan. So
Tyreek Hill killed. He did me some numbers. I got him. I was happy with him. I was like, damn. So I just had to say that, get that, because I've been waiting a couple weeks for a win, just one. How much for one win?
Have y'all ever watched? I know I'm late. I'm wild late. Have y'all watched like Red Zone?
Yeah.
Like, but just watch it, because I only watch football for the Yo, that shit is phenomenal, son. That shit is fire.
You gotta remember, like, we do flag over fantasy, and that's just the best way too.
For y'all.
So we have to. We kind of have to watch it.
Nah, that shit is hard. So I was just watching fantasy. Red Zone for like 2 hours. I'm like, I've been missing out.
Yeah, it's a deep. Right?
That shit fire. So, and then I wanted to talk about. I don't know if y'all saw it yet, but the BMF series.
Oh yeah, bro. I didn't watch episode 2.
Oh, I did. It's getting good, my brother.
Yeah,
it's good. I encourage. Well, I don't know if I should encourage people to watch it, but I will, because it's loosely based off of a true story, and they say that in the beginning. There's some stuff that's embellished, slightly embellished, but it is some truth to it. I will say this: the character that plays Big Meech, I don't know if he's related to him or not.
No, that's his son.
Okay, because he looks. He is the equivalent of how like the dude playing ODB in the Wu-Tang joint looked like, and I'm like, oh, looks too good to be true. Like,
you know what's ill? It's happening even more because the Soprano movie is out, and James Gandolfini, who played Tony Soprano, his son is playing him.
Oh,
in the prequel.
I got to see this, because I'll go watch the Sopranos heavy too. So yeah. But that's just something I wanted to add to this, because Black Mafia Family is good. I'm just waiting for I heard Eminem's supposed to be in it. Supposed to play. Wow. He's supposed to play.
White Boy Rick.
Yeah, him. Okay. He's supposed to play him. Eminem is White Boy Rick, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Eminem is supposed to play him from Detroit.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's kind of dope. So I'm waiting to see when that comes along, because remember, this is all out in that whole Detroit area and stuff.
Before they went to Atlanta.
And I just kind of felt like, being that I have family from there, like that first episode, I don't want to tell it if y'all see it, but he mentioned Belle Isle. If y'all know, that's like the beach area or whatever. We used to go to the Giant Slide in Belle Isle, me, Darnell, Lamar.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh shit, I've been to Belle Isle. Like, I know where that's at. Like, I felt like, oh snap.
What I didn't know was they were saying "What up, though" even back then. I don't know if they were, but like "What up, though" is a super Detroit greeting. It's like, "What's good, son?"
I think they've been saying that, to be honest with you.
Maybe it's just popularized. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's usually how it
goes. Next on Zonos, I want to get y'all opinion on this. It's a slight topic, but they've been beasting, just because LeBron's name about him not promoting or pushing people to get the vaccine. I know, like, Enes Kanter tried to come. He's been trying to come for LeBron for a minute. I think he's just a hater, but okay.
Yeah, that's all. He want to ride the coattails.
Yeah, so I don't know how y'all feel, because LeBron said it's not my place which I think I kind of agree with him because he's like, yo, I'm always an advocate for stuff and this and that third, but this is different. Like,
I think he's on point. The way that I watched the little clip, and he said, I think this is a personal decision that everybody should make for themselves. He said he did it for him and his family, but he was like, and they asked a follow-up question like, but don't you think because of your platform and your position that you should help to influence people to take the vaccine? He was like, to me, that's the equivalent of me telling you should take this job or not. It's like it's not my that's a personal decision for you and your family.
It is a personal decision.
So I think he was dead on with that.
Yeah, LeBron don't miss, bro, when it comes to like those type of attacks. You know what I mean? And I know we talked about this, and I'm gonna be very careful how I tread on these waters with this. I know I know people are given an option to either get vaccinated or not get vaccinated. Man, I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's a rush decision that everyone has to make right at this moment. You know, I think trends are showing that, yeah, there are cases, but it appears to be manageable. It appears to be slowing down, so to speak.
Are we at herd immunity?
We're close. I don't think we're there. I think we're like at 70% or 60%. Last time I heard from the population statistics, we were at 70% globally, right? And I think we're on the break of it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing that like we have to get. I mean, who am I to say I don't know anything? I don't, right? And I'm just gonna say that like, if you don't feel comfortable getting vaccinated, then I think that we should be also promoting appropriate measures for those people, and rather than isolating those people, right? Because it's one thing to say, hey, you're not vaccinated, but then there's also a thing to say, but hey, are you taking the right precaution? Are you wearing a mask? Are you socially distancing properly? Are you boosting your immunity naturally? Are you exercising? Are you eating differently? Like, are you doing the necessary things now, right? If you're not going to get vaccinated. But I think that the approach, in my personal opinion, has been wrong from the get-go, because we've sat there, we've ridiculed people for wearing a mask versus getting vaccinated. So now it's like, it's this war, right? If you're wearing a mask, and you're supposed to be this rebellion type of person now, right? In reality, I'm protecting myself. Even if I do have the vaccine, you should still be protecting yourself, right? And I just think we have to be mindful about the messages we're trying to share and put out there in the world when it comes to this agenda that we want to achieve so greatly, so badly. There's a way to achieve that agenda without making the message feel like it's a threat or it's
at a large scale. Shaming in any way, shape, or form doesn't work. At a large scale, on a small scale, shaming can work, but on a large scale, it never works.
True.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to disagree with LeBron. Let's just say that I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I support his decision on that response.
So next we have upcoming fight: Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, part
when is
3.
That?
Saturday. Well, by the time the Justice League listen to this, is tomorrow. Which is Saturday. As much as I want Wilder to win, especially being that he's from Alabama and all that, I just think Fury's a better boxer. So, and Anthony Joshua just got beat the F up. So that he kind of threw everything out of whack because everybody was trying to see like Joshua versus Wilder. He messed the whole everything up. So I think this is going to be an easier fight for Tyson Fury, and he gonna have to fight that Russian dude that just beat. I can't say his name, looks like a whole bunch of like odd letters that don't go together, but the dude that just beat Joshua. So that's something to look forward to if you're into this boxing world, boxing fan like I am. And this is something that we don't know, is not confirmed, but the silhouette of the people were on the advertisement and they were trying to see who could guess it. But the next verses, people have been guessing the thing is going to be KRS-One versus Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, I'll sit this one out.
What? You're bugging. You can't be a hip hop person and not.
People have been wanting to see this since '78. I get it. I understand.
Shut up. More like 88 maybe.
I know. And Kumo D gonna moderate. I get it. I understand.
I don't know if he is. Maybe him versus I don't know. But I think that's if you're a hip hop person, if you listen to hip hop, people need to, including the youngsters. Like y'all gotta see if y'all hear some of the songs y'all hear today have been sampled from these two people or the origins of it. So I think it's a great. I mean, I was a huge Big Daddy Kane fan growing up, so I even wanted the haircut, the flat top, and all that. But you know, I might have to go do that. My joint a little high now, so I can get ready for the verses.
It'll be a good verses. I don't know. It's like good for nostalgia, but I don't know if I'll watch the whole joint.
You are not watching
only because I don't know like more than
enough
5 songs from each person.
I do. I grew up listening to a song. Like,
Big Daddy Kane songs.
No, I'm saying more than 5. Like,
I know. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
I think you'll be surprised. So that was it. I was keeping it light this week. You know what I mean? Because we know
a Puerto Rico.
I set him up, but I set him up. I threw the alley-oop. All right. Well, you could have just Ben Simmons there and not laid it up. All right. You could have just left that alone. But instead,
could have Embiid it.
Yep. Exactly.
All right. So take us home with the serenity prayer.
Well, as always, we want to ask God to grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, like people violating the God code, the courage to change the things we can, like who you select to be your baby mama, and the wisdom to know the difference between the two.
She for the streets.
Is there a heart?
There is not a heart in the house because Lil Fizz Crip walked on it.
You got to have love.
No love.
You got to have love in your heart.
There was a little bit too much love in her heart. She had enough to give.
Spread it around.
And Lil Fizz came and fucked up that house.
2-family home.
They definitely took it. You know what? See you next time.